Something really weird is happening in the cryptocurrency space. Right now, the stock market is rallying, but at the same time, cryptocurrency is moving lower. Usually these things move in the same direction. And you would think crypto would have a little bit more of a positive reaction to what looks to be a very dovish new Fed chair, Kevin Hassett. He says time for the Fed to cautiously reduce rates. But here's where things get tricky. At the same time, the Bank of Japan is likely to raise rates in December. And what you're looking at is Japanese government bond yields, which have recently been skyrocketing. But what does that have to do with Bitcoin? Well, internationally for the last many years, there's been a very popular trade. Take a look at this number, 1.95%. If that is your borrowing rate, that's how much it costs you in interest to borrow from the Bank of Japan, you could then borrow at that rate and go lend it to the US government and collect 4.14%. Obviously, there is a spread here. You can essentially borrow from Japan and lend it to the US and collect income in between. However, we just discussed that the US is likely to cut interest rates while Japan is likely to hike them, making borrowing more costly and the yield that you receive for lending to the US less attractive. Now, what I just described is called the carry trade, and it's been a prominent trade for quite some time. But specifically, Bitcoin is taking a hit due to this because the carry trade offers leverage and liquidity into the global financial system. If people are unwinding this leverage, the first place they tend to grab liquidity from is the very volatile stuff in their portfolios. I'm talking about pension funds, sovereign nation funds, hedge funds, all these different big entities. They borrow from Japan, they lend it somewhere else, and that trade seems to be potentially unwinding right now, which has a lot of negative connotations for highly volatile instruments like Bitcoin. I talked about this and more on today's Market Insights podcast. I'll leave that link to my profile if you want to check it out.